Hello, my friends, and welcome to another pick a card reading. It's really, really good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I'll be looking at what's next for shadow work what's next. And I've chosen 3 cards from the Magickal Botanical Oracle, 3 piles. You can pause the video if you wish to have a look at which pile that you'd like to go for. But before you do, I'd just like to put out a disclaimer. This reading is about shadow work. Shadow work is going to go in depth into the places where our deepest triggers are, and it might tell us something that we don't like. Now, that's the whole purpose of the shadow. It's about bringing things to light that is in the shadow, what is in the shadow. Please do remember that these readings are general readings. If you want a personal reading, you can always get in contact with me. Only take what resonates, discard the rest, and also remember, these are just readings. No advice in the respect of medical, psychological, anything like that. Nothing is like that. This should already be confirming what you already know. And if you want to go more in depth, you can always, as I said, contact me, and I can liaise with you personally. But in the respect of this reading, please just take it with a pinch of salt. Okay? So, going forward, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Timestamps will be in the description box below, my friends, and I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Hi, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So I'm going to let you into a little secret. I started doing your reading last night, and I was in such a weird place, like it intoxicated me so much that I had to stop the reading. I did film it. I did finish filming it. And I don't know, I might have a channel where all of the readings that I didn't upload, they are there, or a space. But I've still decided to use the same cards. So, because I still think that they had an important message. So with that being said, you have Ivy. So Ivy really embodies the idea of you being rooted in the ground and having roots, and also this sense of reaching up to the sky. But also there's this sense of like enveloping something else, covering something else. Now, when we look at this particular image of Ivy from this incredible deck, you can see that it's a female figure that looks like an angel with wings, and she is kind of almost enamored with this gravestone in a way. So the message that I got last night was that it seems to me that there is some attachment, and a strong attachment at that, to something that is not living. Now, whatever way that may be, it may be an actual person, it may be an idea, it may be a relationship, it may be a period of time. Whatever it is, there is an attachment here that is causing you not to be able to move on. It's actually leaving you in the sense of the shadow, which we've got this waxing. I'm seeing this as a waxing moon. And as I'm reading this reading, it's the new moon. So what I'm getting here is this idea of like, you know, this new moon, the waxing moon wants to come to light, but it's not able to because there's this kind of clinging on. And there's also, because she's like in such a position which is quite sensual, it's quite a sexual position, right? It's not like, oh, she's just sitting, you know, it's quite like, she looks quite enamored. And also the fact that she's almost naked, or she is naked and we can't see anything, is interesting as well. So the sexual nature, the sensual nature, the obsessive nature, the thing of where you're enamored with something, not letting it go. And the thing is the gravestone is just the gravestone, isn't it? It's just doing its thing. It's not really it's not really doing much. It's just being there. So it's almost like It's almost like that thing of like worshipping a statue, you know? Like, it's all well and good to worship a statue, but why worship a statue? It's the idea, it's the embodiment of an idea, or the persona, or the physical 3D embodiment of an idea, or something that you may be praying to, you know. But then, you know, if you've got this kind of obsession with the actual stone itself, it's a bit weird, right? So it's almost like you want to keep yourself with the idea, and you want to kind of embody the idea rather than, you know, be enamored with the actual thing. I'll give you an example, right? Now, crystals. Okay, now I have loads of crystals, so I'm not knocking crystals. I absolutely love them. The thing is, though, right, is that any attachment that we have to them kind of gives it more power than it needs. So, for example, like if you have a ring or something like that, or some kind of piece of jewelry or something, or even, like the crystals, say you've got your favorite crystal and you really want, you know, if you lose it, you know, that's the end of it. You know, you feel absolutely devastated, maybe for days. So it's that sense of attachment that is residing within the shadow right now that is coming up to the surface for you to overcome at this moment. You know, it's all individual. This is what the cards are saying. And it's also number 5 as well, for 1 and 4, which equals 5. So there's this kind of like intermediary stage that's happening. This sense of you know, being halfway there, but you're still halfway from where you started, but you're halfway to where you've got to go, kind of thing. So there's something about this midway point that is important for you, pile 1. So quite a big start anyway. I think there was so much to say about this card, and I think I ended up going on last night for about 10 minutes about it, and I was like, no, I can't do that. So yeah, so we've got the prayer here, we've got 12th house reversed, we've got stellium, and then we've got the bound reversed, and the bound says ensnared, captive, burdened. And then we also have friendship reversed. So let me just pop these over. So with the 12th house reversed, there's almost like this sense of you getting lost. I do feel that. I do feel like this is something that may cause you to be in a space where you feel lost, or not even that you're lost. It's just that you get lost, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you will actually recognize that you are lost, which is interesting. It might be that you just get lost in it. You know, like when something completely takes your attention and you're just absolutely in love with it, and you just get so lost in it, like you get lost in someone's eyes. That's what I'm kind of getting, because there's an obsession here. I'm feeling a little bit of an obsession, particularly with that Ivy card. With the bound, I think this is a choice. There's very much a 7 of Wands feel here with this bound card, and also particularly with it being reversed. It's almost like there's a sense of you making the choice whether or not to be bound by this or not. Now I can probably guarantee is going to like trigger someone, because like every time I've said that to someone, they've said to me, I'm not ensnared, I'm not holding myself back. That's a lie, actually. Some people have been willing, more people that I've met recently have been able to say, yep, actually I do feel like I'm tied down by that. Maybe that's just the times we live in, but I do remember definitely people saying to me that they've been in a sense of denial. But there is also a sense of saying the very thing that you're wishing for, maybe the thing that is ensnaring you. So it's almost like seeing what it is exactly that you want to kind of, you know, what are you wishing for? And with this friendship card reversed, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. It seems to me that you may be attached to like people or friendships. So it might not be relationships. But with, well, as in romantic relationships, but with friendships, it's almost like there's a sense of loyalty that's needed in those friendships, and that's what you're hoping for, it seems like. But there's something very unpredictable about you. And I think that might be why, like, there's this sense of people not being able to, like, I wouldn't say so much commit, but I feel like they're afraid of you a little bit. So anyway, let's see what in the stellium, what's there. Okay, south node. So we've got the moon. Sorry, my friends, I just had to sneeze there. So we've got the moon, Jupiter, and Mars. Moon, Jupiter, and Mars. So with the moon, it's about you, moon, Jupiter, Mars. So I think you're very giving in your emotions. You're probably very, you know, you like to include people, you like to give a lot. But you know what? Sometimes when you give a lot, it's quite intimidating for people. They kind of like think, oh my God, like this is just a little bit much. Like they just get frightened away by it. And there's almost this sense of you being, yeah. And I never think people are too much. I just think that people aren't able to handle them. And I'm definitely guilty of that. You know, there's definitely been personality types where I'm like, whoa, I don't know if I can handle that. But that's more about me not being able to handle it. I think it's about being able to find the balance. But there is also this element here where there is a little bit of obsessiveness about what? About something here. So that's just something to think about. I don't know what that is like yet. We'll find out in a minute. But that's kind of what's coming up first. I'm telling you, I love summer, yeah, but hay fever is an interesting thing. So that's probably why I'm like not sounding as clear and concise as I normally do. But yeah, it's just I do prefer winter, I'm not gonna lie. Even though I was born in the summer, I prefer winter. I like autumn and winter, they're my favourites. I like snuggling and being cold, but then also I absolutely crave the sun. Such a weirdo. Right, anyway. So let's see. So we've got the 8, look at that, the 8 of Swords. What was I saying? 8 of Swords. But it's upright. Okay, well, yeah, 8 of Swords is that. Then we've got the Queen of Wands. Okay, wow. I don't know, Pile 1. I think you're a bit of a vixen, you know. I think you might entice people. You might be a bit intense, but there's nothing wrong with that. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just that it's about being able to like understand who really deserves your intensity, right? Deserves what you have to give, because not everybody deserves it, right? Okay, we've got the 8 of Wands reversed. Interesting. So we've got 2 8s. We've got a Knight of Pentacles reversed. We've also got the 3 of Cups reversed. Yeah. So this thing, I think people find you a bit intense. They really do. And it's a shame because, like, you know, you've got a load to offer. It's a load to offer. But there's something about, like, the actual people that you're connecting with. And, you know, this 8 of Swords, the imprisoned bear. Queen of Wands, the cosmic huntress. 8 of Wands, meteor shower. And the Knight of Pentacles, the Aztec Hawk warrior. I think you go forward like in situations where, I don't know, there needs to be a more educated assessment of the groups that you're going into, the people that you're connecting with. Because I think when you enter into a space of when you are going in with friends, you come from a bound sense. It's something that is not stable. So if you go into a situation that's not stable, you're going to attract instability. And it's interesting because you want stability. You crave it. You really crave it. I mean, who doesn't, right? It's quite general. But like in the respect of, there's a little bit of an obsession here with it. So it's almost like it teeters the other way. And I've got also a feeling that you can't stand not knowing. It's almost like you have to know what's going on. But you may have strong placements within the 12th house. And because we had Mars, Jupiter and the Moon, there's just a lot of passionate energy here. A lot of passionate energy. It's also kind of, I don't know, there's two things here. You either end up being taken advantage of and manipulated, which is kind of indicative of here. And you do, and I feel like there's a little bit of a willingness here, but it also happens in quite a slow way. You know, it happens, but in a quick, but like kind of a creep way. You know, like that Squid Game, right? When she turns around and then like they kind of creep up. It's that whole thing, like if you're the one who's playing the game, if you're the one who's like the one who turns around, people all of a sudden they're here and then all of a sudden they're there. Do you know what I mean? It's like that kind of thing, but it's still taken the same amount of time as it took for you to like turn around. So it's not a rush thing, but it seems like very fast. And there is movement here because this Knight of Pentacles is moving forward. And this is a Knight of Pentacles who should be... The Knight of Pentacles is supposed to be the slowest moving in the deck. But this way, it's like almost moving when really things should take their time. Do you know what I think also? I think if you are entering into relationships that go very quickly, I think what you're going for is chemistry. And you're thinking, right, if I really get on with this person, if like things really happen really fast and, you know, we go out and we do lots of things together, if that happens, then that means it's a good relationship. But then I'll be honest with you, those types of relationships, and I speak from experience, those types of relationships, they end. And when they're gone, what do you do then? But then the relationships that don't do that maybe you haven't had that kind of like interaction or connection, initial like interaction, and that hasn't happened. What does that tell you? It tells you that those relationships are the ones that really will give you the rewards that you're after. So it might be interesting just to think about that dynamic. Something's telling me about that number. So that's 50, 65, 65, 11. So we've got a master number there, 11, 5, 3. And we've got another 3, but it's 12th house. So I think there's something about you understanding your own sense of neediness here, and about what you're expecting other people to fulfill here. Once you kind of like go out of that, then you'll be able to fulfill your own needs. Then you'll be able to get the friendship that you want. This is I don't know, this is like bugging me. And what's bugging me is that it's just the fact that there's these, it's a very thin rope. It's so 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords meaning that you decide to tie yourself. It doesn't look like he can't untie himself here. Do you know what I mean? And also, it doesn't look like he's really uncomfortable. Yes, there is blood around it, of course, because it's almost like there is some kind of like damage here, but it still doesn't feel like he can't get out of it. It feels like he could. So there is an option here. I think upright for me would mean that you're not aware, but you are aware. You are aware. And the 8 of Swords is that. Exactly that. So let's have a look at how you can start to work out of that. it was such intoxicating energy last night. I'm telling you, I was like, I couldn't. I think the shadow energy was so strong. That's why. But it also shows how deep it is. You know, how deep we can kind of fall victim to our own shadow and be there. Because it gives us comfort. That's why it's in the dark. Okay, so we've got the Four of Wands here. The Ten of Pentacles. The Star. The Queen of Cups reversed. And the Moon reversed. Okay. Yeah, I would really be careful about who you are trusting with what you're doing. Because, I don't know, there are people who might want to take advantage of you. I said that already, but like now there's confirmation that they do want to take advantage of you. It's very immature, you know. It's very immature. It just reminds me of school. Like, I went to an all-girls school, and like, I used to see this sort of stuff all the time. It was all right though. I've been victim to like some kind of similar thing. Who hasn't? But like at the end of the day, it's just interesting. It's almost like a playing on the emotions as well. If you can get somebody like all kind of emotionally upset and unstable, then, you know, it works out in your favor, right? As in, like, the favour of the person that wants to take advantage of your nature for whatever reason. But the Star here is kind of saying about the need for... the slowness of this is actually your hope. Is actually, you know, when you're taking your time, give yourself the time to vet these people just as much as they're vetting you. It's not just about them liking you. And this Queen of Wands here being clarified by this Ten of Pentacles, it's all for show. I think there is an element of you like kind of going to the essence of chemistry, of things feeling really nice initially. When it's like, oh yeah, this feels so great. You know, I feel like I've really got along with this person and I really trust this person. And, you know, there's just a little bit, it's a little bit too quick in that respect. Like, you go for that and then you end up being bound by your own sense of happiness. It's almost like a sense of carefreeness. Yesterday I got the Fool here. So yeah, and I got the same thing. It was an obsession. And kind of like, it was an obsession with something. But I think in this case it's with certain types of people that give you a certain sense of emotional... They give you something, like they make you feel a certain way, pile one. And then you go with it. Yeah, stay away from... Like, there's something here that's telling you to, like... Yeah, because you don't know these people. You don't know what they... This is a warning. Stay away from them. This card, I don't know if you can see it, because I don't know. This card, I do like this deck, but I don't know. You can just about see it. Actually, I can see it just about on screen. That says amplify. I think that is about amplifying you and who you are, because if you are able to really kind of amplify who you are, you won't need to do this. You won't need, you know, the ivy will just be growing on its own. I mean, the thing is, right, ivy is a creeper, it's a crawler. It crawls on trees. It crawls on, you know, it needs something to stabilize itself. That's the idea of it. Or it can grow on the floor, one of the two. But it's, you know, it grows up things. And that's the whole nature of it. And I think that energy is really good. I think that the energy of being like in this space where you can be on the ground and up in the air, or like in different sorts of places, is really good. But there's something about like understanding what role it is that other people play for you, but then that's it, you know, not kind of going over the top and becoming codependent. Do you know what I mean? So amplifying yourself is really important. And it's interesting because like I can't flip and see this thing. And I couldn't see it last night. I can just about see it now. You can see it all right on camera. It's not the most... So it's almost like this sort of thing is hidden. It's quite difficult to get you to do that because like you're thinking, how do I do that? So what I would advise is that when you're doing this kind of work, it's about finding yourself and finding out what it is that you like, what it is that you want, what it is that you value in people. How about your needs, your wants, your things, you know? Because you're deeply passionate about it. You're deeply passionate, and also I wouldn't be surprised if when you come into interactions with people that you bring luck, you bring fortune to people. You may have money, you may you may be very enterprising. There may be something about you that is very attractive. Or not even just attractive, but it's just really like people have good things when they are around you, and that's quite tasty. People will want to like rub that. You know, so you have to be careful. I definitely see that with that Ten of Pentacles here. Yeah, I'll go with this one. So Kushiel, Angel of Punishment. Now, I mean, you're protected. You are protected deeply. And that is actually the green light to tell you that if you want to be you, don't shadow yourself. Go for yourself, do what you want, and be who you are supposed to be. Don't temper yourself for other people. That's what that is saying. But you have to make it, because this I don't like it. I'm sorry. It's a beautiful picture, don't get me wrong, but I don't like that sense of like, oh, I need this. No. I don't know, maybe that's just the Capricorn in me. But like, I just kind of think, no. You don't need other people. You don't. And particularly these people. I mean, of course, we're obviously social beings. And we do need other people to a certain extent. But these people are not. They're not working for you in your favour. And the more that you kind of attune yourself to who you are and what you're meant to be. And discovering yourself. Because I feel like there's a lot unknown about you. And I don't know if you're afraid of it or what. Like, are you afraid of it? I think you have some kind of like, there's something about, yeah, now I remember what this card is. There's something about you not valuing yourself enough. Pile 1. You need to value yourself. There's definitely this sense of like undermining yourself. So your shadow work, your next step in shadow work is to investigate why you allow yourself to give in to people who don't deserve you, right? Because these people don't deserve you. They don't. Sorry, but they don't. And you're an incredible human being that brings a lot of power. Because you've got Mars. In that stellium, we had Mars, Jupiter, and the moon. You bring a lot of passion, drive, and power to people. And luck. I think you're a lucky person. And if you don't feel lucky, then I think that, I don't know, people feel like you give them something very valuable. And this is why this inner beauty is here. And it will help you to find like the person that you're supposed to be. And we've got self-love twice. And guess what? Number 5. You've got a 9 there, but number 5 again, which is with the ivy. So it's about you curling around yourself and giving yourself that beautiful love that you would give to others, you know, pile 1. So that's your shadow work prompt. I think that's all I've got to say. Yeah, I think it is. Just remember, you're protected regardless of whether or not that regardless of you going forward, you like, just be yourself. Okay, pile 1. I hope you enjoyed that. I say it with love. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your attention. And remember, honesty is always key. Bye. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this card, which is Sorcerer's Violet. And It's a 5-petaled purple flower, which is very beautiful. It remains quite close to the ground, apparently. But what it is it's about you being able to be open to things, but yet remaining grounded. So, let's see what the other cards have to say about this. There's something about you remaining close to the ground. We've got the moon, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and earth and water here. So there's something very close to the ground. And expansive. We have Leo. That would make sense. We have Cancer reversed. Interesting. We have the Shaman. Wow. Wow, the Weary. Interesting. Very interesting. I felt breathless and not tired, just a bit like as I was reading this. And yeah, blame. Wow. I accept responsibility for my well-being, and it was reversed. Okay, why is that not in shot? There we go. Right, so I think what's going on here is that I think you may be quite tired of what you're seeing in the world today, pile 2, and I hear that, right? I really hear that. It's intense out there. It's not an easy space to be in. It's not an easy... I don't think we're at an easy place or easy time to live at the moment. But the thing is that there's something about the energy that you give and the energy that you have I don't know, maybe even absorbed. There's something about the knowledge that you have that's very important. I don't know if you do like shamanic work, or I mean the shaman isn't necessarily a shaman here. It's about a teacher, a educator, about a healer. Anybody who works in some kind of thing where they give energy to other people in any way, shape or form. I know that we do that as an exchange anyway, but this is mostly the people that want to help people, right? I'm speaking to. And there's something here about you put yourself out there. So there may be something about you going and maybe doing a lot of public speaking or doing some kind of events or workshops or something like that. What I'm getting here is that you are expending yourself too much. And the reason why you're expending yourself too much, or you're feeling that you are losing energy, is because your disillusionment with the current circumstances of what is going on outside. And it's almost like, and then it's almost like there's a tendency to blame things that are external on what is affecting you, when really it's actually your own belief system. The shaman is also representative of the wounded healer. So it's that idea of the person who is wounded, they heal. And there's a loss of energy here. Almost like an empty hole. So that's what I'm getting here. And I mean, that's totally indicative of Cancer reversed as well, because Cancer is that ever-giving, is the nurturer, is the mother. And when it's reversed, it's almost like there's there's an embittered feeling towards expending energy towards other people and caring for other people, because you know that you won't get it back, or there may be some kind of thing where you don't feel that they're appreciating it. And there's also something about you being publicly, because there's something about you being around a lot of people, be it that publicly or in a community setting. There is something about your energy not being, you're not protecting your energy. You're expending it too much. I'm not expending it too much. You're expending it and not replenishing it in a way that's actually sustainable. Look at that. Wow, that was interesting. I always get quite good insights from the actual way that things shuffle, if they're difficult to shuffle, or if they don't shuffle in the right way, or if it isn't easy to shuffle, actually, because there is no right and wrong way, is there? So okay, right. There's something very laboured about this. 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, nice. Empress reversed. Oh, well, that's the ultimate Cancerian card reversed. I'm laughing because of synchronicity, yeah, not because of situation. Please remember that. And Page of Swords. No, Page of Swords reversed. And I only need one. Can I just have one, please? Hey, I just want one. Yes. Wow, the Sage, Purity, love it. This is one of the extra cards in the deck. And there's a good deal of these. They hardly come out. So there is a real desire for wanting of this kind of sense of community. This is what you get with the Leo aspect as well. You want everyone to be happy, right? But when you do that and you wish that everybody was happy, what happens? One person isn't happy, and that's the person that wants everybody to be happy, right? So, there's this. Oh God, this card's amazing. Look at it. But on that note, right, it's that doesn't look very plausible, right? That looks a bit like, I Just Got Castles in the Sky by Rihanna. It's just a fantasy. Not that song means that, but that was the song that came into my head. That kind of feels this fantastical feeling of wanting something that actually isn't possible. And I love the 10 of Cups, and everybody raves about the 10 of Cups, yeah? But the thing is that if you look at the original Rider-Waite, there is one aspect of the 10 of Cups that someone said to me, well, actually my teacher said to me about it. And if you look at the original Rider-Waite, I don't know if I can find it for you. I don't have the original Rider-Waite here. But in the Rider-Waite, if you look at the 10 of Cups, the woman or the female figure, or the one who's wearing a skirt, right? It's like you've got this couple that are holding each other with their backs to the, we can see their backs and their hands are up, but then they also, and they're pointing to this rainbow of 10 of Cups, and then there's these kids dancing. But there's this red kind of trail that is coming from the female, or the one with the dress on. And that says to me that there is some kind of sacrifice that's being made. Someone is making a sacrifice that's unknown for this kind of ideal of happiness. So that's really interesting in the context of this. 10 of Pentacles, the oyster of Metatron here, it says. I mean, there's just this idealization I just feel like it's an idealization coming at a cost, which I think has been a familial pattern from maybe the primary female caregiver. It's like, this is the idea that you know, if you're in this position, you have to sacrifice yourself in this way, because that's what we do. That's what you do. And then when you also have the Page of Swords, there's no communication with anybody about this, because it's actually would be quite negating on prideful. The Ten of Pentacles also I see as that, as like, you know, you're trying to keep up an appearance of what you know, you're trying to keep people, excuse me. I was going to try and, okay, that second one was really loud, so I had to like stop the recording, sorry. But there's this sense of like putting on a front. And I mean, the Empress is very much that. It's really interesting that this one is like an X-ray. So it's almost like what we can't see, like what's really going on there. I find this card really interesting as well, because it's a peacock, but I thought peacocks were male, no? So that's a bit interesting. I don't know. I have to look that up. So correct me if I'm wrong, please. Or like say, yeah, there are female peacocks. I'd like to know. But it's also the alchemical mother as well here. So with that being said, it means that the alchemy is not happening. So the fusion is not happening in a way. And definitely with this kind of displacement of blame, that's resonant with that Page of Swords. It's almost like there's an inability to be able to look. Like sometimes I see the Page of Swords as looking at things. I don't know, maybe you can see that you're not doing it because of your own experience, because I feel like you know what you're doing. Like I feel like you're experienced and you know what you're doing, like generally. But this is, remember, we're looking at shadow, right? So shadow is going to be things that you don't see. So this is something that, you know, maybe you thought that you dealt with, but there is still some issues here. I do think it might be to do with like maternal. Otherwise it would have been a queen, and we've got like two kind of maternal queens here. So, and the way you get rid of this is quite interesting. But I do also see this sage as maybe a Puritan sense that is actually in a way maybe hindering. Let's have a look, because I think sometimes when we can get a little bit too totalitarian with how we believe things should be, it can be quite damaging. But it isn't reversed. So I'm thinking that actually keeping true to yourself and being able to remember and take responsibility for what it is that you're bringing to the table, and understanding that things are just the way that they are. Like, you can only influence as much as you can. If we try and boil the ocean, which is an amazing saying that Helen from Eye of the Serpent Tarot said to me, and I was like, that's amazing. So boiling the ocean, you can't do it. That whole thing of Rome being built in a day, you can't do that. So just give yourself a bit of a break and just continue to purify yourself of any kind of thoughts that may make you feel that you're overwhelmed and that you have to do everything. If you don't do it, then it won't get done. If I don't do it, then you know, it won't be done as well as it could be. You know, just let it happen. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune here. We've got the Seven of Wands, and then we've got the Two of Cups reversed. Okay. Oh, wow, that was upright and then it turned reversed. Some cards have been doing that recently. That's really interesting. Ace of Pentacles reversed. Okay, right. So, I mean, pile two, your ability to be able to strive for your true goals and desires is actually what will help you to move out of this situation. I think you understand that this is not something that you want. I think you wouldn't be coming to this reading and watching it if you didn't think that there was something that you could change about the situation, that you could actually use to manifest something different within yourself. You know you've got the power. That's why I love my audience because they really understand, you know, what it is. They accept the things within themselves. I accept the things within, I accept the things I cannot change, you know, and do the things that, and I don't know the full prayer, but like, it's the serenity prayer. It's about like really taking responsibility and having courage to actually accept what it is that you can change about yourself. And that's the whole thing about the healer. That's the whole thing about being this mature level. That, and also with the Sorcerer's Violet, it's almost like you understand the game. You understand it. You get the assignment. But sometimes we all have stuff that we need to work on. It's just part of the game. So that's what that Wheel of Fortune is with that 10 of Cups. It's almost like you've got like a really good understanding of that. With the 7 of Wands reverse, this is like past patterning. This is stuff that still needs to be healed, still needs to kind of come back up. I don't know, something might be re-triggered, which is why this 2 of Cups and Empress 2 of Cups reversed and Empress is here reversed. Because it's almost like maybe a dysfunction in a relationship that you have had with someone. It may be a platonic relationship, friendship, business relationship. I think it's a personal relationship because it's the 2 of Cups here. But there is something about your relationships that is triggering something that is a deep, deep sense of patterning that isn't quite... I don't think it's... the source is deep, but I don't think that your reaction to it is too deep, because I think like you're already dealing with it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it's that whole thing like the onion. So like you deal with the first layer and then you see, oh, there's another layer that can give me another sense of like triggering. Okay, I need to work through this. And that's what's happening here. It's almost like, oh, there's still stuff I need to cleanse out. There's still stuff I need to get rid of. And it's related to this issue because this thing has triggered it. So, and I think it's a relationship of some sort. I do think it's that. Or it could be about your attitude towards relationships. I'm seeing honestly like a long-term relationship, and then something in this long-term relationship it's triggering you, so there's something that you need to work through. That's what I'm seeing. But I mean, you know, this is a general reading and it's for many people, so it could be for, if you're not in a relationship, then I think it might be about how you approach relationships. With this Nine of Pentacles reverse, Nine of Pentacles reverse is the lack of wanting to be alone, not feeling like you can sustain yourself, not feeling that you're in a position where you can actually, survive in a way. I don't think it's so bad as survival, because then we'd have the 5 of Pentacles. But then I think with the 9, it's almost like the sense of individuality is not there. And I think there's a craving for that. And that's why it's almost like, particularly with Cancer, right? And I know a lot of Cancers, so, and also I have aspects in Cancer, so, but like with Cancers, they need to give this sense of love. They need to be the mother, like they need to mother, it's a very strong aspect with Cancerians. They really want to take care of things. They really like to take care of people. And this is also for males as well as females. I know many. So like, it's just kind of like this idea of being able to kind of cocoon, hold, take care of people and make sure that people are comfortable. That's a very important thing to them. And that sense of codependency is highlighted here by the lack of communication. And that's what's causing this drainage. That's why there's this lack of independence. Because otherwise you can't eat these grapes. You give the grapes all away, right? Then you've also got this, the Sage. So the purity clarified by the Ace of Pentacles reversed. You're missing a trick here. It's almost like you're giving away all the good stuff to everyone, but you're not leaving any of the cake for yourself. I used to do that all the time, right? I used to do it all the time. You wouldn't care, because you would think, oh, well, I can just get cake whenever I can get it. I'm talking about, figuratively, right? Nothing, we're not talking about like an actual cake. But there are other things, right? So the opportunity is there. You need to take it. And there's a really beautiful meditation that I always advise to my clients. and it's about the heart. And it's about, and I'm sure I've mentioned it in my readings if you've been watching my readings, but the heart pumps blood to itself before it pumps blood to anyone else. And that's really important. So you have to purify yourself, cleanse yourself, nourish yourself, give yourself the ability to be able to grow that seedling. Otherwise, you will just give it to everyone else. And I don't know if you might be expending it in other ways as well. Like you may be even giving yourself sexually. Or using particular ways of relaxing that expend your energy. Have a look at that. Okay, I will go with this guy first. Okay, so this is wilderness. So what I get from this card, right, is that there's an opportunity for you to get lost in your own sense of wilderness, and that will enable you to feel some kind of release where you do not feel so weary. On a simplistic level, go out into nature, right? Go out into nature. But then if that's the case, then when you go out into nature, have a look at the absolute pandemonium of the forest floor, or like say if you go into a forest, or if you go into the sea, or if you go to the beach or something. Grass and things and you know, these sort of things, they don't grow in straight lines. They don't grow in ways that is you know, is like they don't grow in ways that is a straight, linear, like the straight things on like the sides of these cards, or the roundness, the beautiful perfect roundness of this card. It doesn't happen like that, does it? So it's about understanding the kind of just abandon of nature and really getting into that space. That's what, embrace your own sense of wilderness and embrace that about yourself, because there is something quite regimented here and about a bit keeping up appearances kind of vibe. Put it in the bin, or not quite put in the bin, actually just put it on the shelf. Yeah, so like kind of put it in a place where that you know that you can get something from it but not live by it, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's have a look at this card. Sandalphon, Angel of New Life. I love that. That's beautiful. I haven't got this card before. Wow. So, I mean, with Sandalphon is this essence of you being able to find joy. And you know, when you look at a baby and the baby is just gurgling and laughing at you, and it just fills you with this kind of like sense of joy. It's that essence that will help you to kind of remember the joy that is in this world, because I think there's a sense of you feeling that because you're giving so much. There also has to be a sense of you giving, you know, what you're giving out to yourself as well, which I think I've said that already, but it's very much about how you are invoking this sense of hope and joy into others or to others, and being able to, you know, give that to yourself. And then we have home, but it's reversed. So with that, I feel that you need to find your way home. You need to find, because it just feels to me, pile 2, that you are giving a sense of home to others, but you are not giving a sense of home to yourself. So a question for you: what is it to you that means home? What does home mean to you? And here we've got I'm the key, opportunity, inner solutions and new beginnings. It is reversed. So I think there is something about you that may feel like a little bit of a hole. Like, it's interesting actually, because a key is the actual thing that you put into a hole. With it being reversed, it's almost like the hole that is looking for the key. You are the key. You are the key, right? Pole 2. You are the key. You need to believe that you're the key for yourself as well. Any other things I need to say? I don't think so. I don't think so. I am thinking about doing a part 2 to these readings because... Or I might do extendeds. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below because I feel like I want to like go deeper, but I don't know. I feel like I need to also stop it here because, you know, it's a general reading. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more advice on like how to take this forward, then I can always like do an extended or something like that. But I do feel that there is, I don't know, I feel like you also know the answer as well. You do. The energy that you're giving to others, it needs to come back to yourself. It needs to, you know, and there is something about whether or not you feel whether or not you can actually come home to yourself, or if there is anything to come home to. Very interesting. But I hope that helped, my lovely pile 2. You're an amazing, amazing bunch of people, as are all of my audience. I do love you all. You're incredible. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, you take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'll speak to you soon. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 3, hello and welcome to your reading. It'd be good if I got your card out, right? There we go. So, what have you got? Hellbore. Wow. Hellbore. Very, very interesting. We've got Venus, Saturn, Mars, and water, I think it is. God, I need these symbols tattooed on my hands. No good on my face because otherwise I won't be able to see them. I don't like looking in mirrors that much. So Hellbore is, yeah, it's water. I got it right. Amazing. So, okay. Needing to be alone, to be unseen, unheard, to reflect upon your own life and your own path. The spirit is gazing off into the distance. This is the picture that we see in front of us. So Hellbore is about you being able to look into that space. It's almost like looking into the chasm, looking into the darkness. Wow, that is... God, pile 3s, you never fail to amaze me, do you? It's always the same. Right, so... you're you know, there's this need to kind of go into the space, to go into the void, to enter into that essence of self, so that you can kind of lose yourself within the darkness. I think but I think it's almost like you understand because you're tethered quite, you got a good tether. Oh, and look at that, Neptune, of course. Oh, and Taurus, yes, you are tethered quite well actually. I don't know, maybe you're bored. Okay. The dreamer, solitude, understanding and intuition. Something is calling you, isn't it? Wow, Kairos. Okay. I just need to double check the book actually. I can't remember too much about it. Put it like that so that beautiful blue eye is there. And then the last card is gratitude reversed. Yes, I remember. When I was shuffling, like sometimes the cards split, like they turn over by accident. And I was like, ooh, pile 3, gratitude. So let me have a little look. Pile 3, good gosh, right. Okay, so like, I mean, I don't know if you're yearning for something that you don't have. You might be thinking about things that you don't have. You might be kind of future-proofing, future-wishing, future-projecting, not living in the moment. Thinking about things like, you know, things about, like, I mean, I don't know, in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, when people are looking down towards this way, they're usually thinking about, thinking about things that are connected with their feelings. So it's almost like there's something that you want to feel more. And also with this sense of like looking off into the distance, and also with Taurus, there's something tangible that gave you the feeling of something that you don't have now. So I don't know if you're dreaming about something or wishing that you had something that you don't have now. Because there's something about you not being grateful for what you've got now. Very interesting, pile 3. Remember, this is a shadow reading. Please only take what resonates. And yeah, it's a shadow reading. That's all I've got to say. My pile 3s usually know though, so it's all good. You're all amazing. I love you. Right, okay. So I have some cards. Right, okay, so we've got the Page of Wands reversed. I love these little sayings on these cards. They're so cool. This is the El Goliath deck. The Moonscape Messenger. The Ten of Wands reversed. The overworked or the overburdened beetle. The Four of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, I see what's going on. The Eight of Wands. Okay, so you may be having a spiritual kind of crisis, awakening. There may be something going on, pile 3. I just want one. Just one. I know, I want you to tell pile 3 more. Okay, I'm going to have to pick one because it's giving me too many. Oh, thank you. Okay, right. Oh, wow. The Chariot reverse. No wonder. Oh, my God. It's like something's going to pop. Right, okay, so... there's something here to learn, and I think the thing is, right, is like almost being able to manage the sense of energy that is surging within you right now, pile 3. It feels like, you know, you really have got something strong. There's something strong. I don't know if it's a desire or something now. I hear that. It kind of reminds me of that surging of energy when you've got like this absolute utter crush on someone and you just want to just jump them. That's how the energy is that I'm feeling here. You just, you know, you've got this crush and it almost like, you know, you can't speak when you're around them, that kind of thing. That's the energy. I'm not saying that that's what's happening. It's the energy. So it's almost like that overwhelmed sense. And it actually causes you to go into this place where you're actually starting to dream of an actual future of something with this in mind, with whatever it is that there's this ultimate craving. And it's almost like a sense that you feel that this will make you so happy. It will make you so happy. And I do also feel like fireworks goes off when, you know, when this thing is thought about, when you see this person, when you go to this place, when you're in this environment. It could be anything. But there's something about you that you can't go forward in it because, you know, it's almost like, I don't know, I'll find out in a minute. But there's something that's like kind of stopping you from going forward. It's not, and it's external, it's not you. I think because if you had the choice, you would go forward. You would go ahead with it. So I don't know if like there is a chance that you might not be able to go to this place. You know, like when you're a kid and then you want to eat all the sweets all at once. It's that I'm feeling. And that's what's causing you to go into this dream state. And I think it's also coming back to a space where like you don't sense time. Like it's almost like time was of no matter at all. Which is why Neptune, these two here, just, and also Hellboy as well, is that kind of like staring into the void, staring into that space, which, you know, there isn't any devil here. So like, it's not like it's something that's addictive or something like that. But I do feel like there's an absolute, you know, just want to kind of just go into somewhere else that you are not already in. Because there's something here about not being appreciative of what you've got right now. There's something about looking into, you're looking elsewhere. You're not looking at the present moment. Four of Cups, Page of Pentacles, Temperance reversed, Queen of Wands reversed. Queen of Wands reversed came up for another pile as well. It's because you guys are powerful. That's why. And when the energy is misdirected, it doesn't manifest too well. So with the Page of Wands, I mean, you've got the Page and the Queen, both the female aspects of the Page of the Wands, right, are reversed here. So what that says to me is that the manifestation is going off in some other direction. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a beneficial direction. I'd say it's more a kind of, it's just not a, it doesn't feel a positive direction. The Four of Cups here is kind of saying to me that there's a focus here on the Three Cups. It's almost like I know it already. I don't need anything else. I know myself. I don't need to know what you're giving me. I don't need to know. I know it already. Page of Pentacles with the Ten of Wands reversed. I think what's going on is that there may be something new that's coming up, or there may be like, it's almost like the person that's kind of like going to every new thing and getting distracted by the new thing, as opposed to like sticking to the thing that they know. Becoming a bit of a jack of all trades, but like also digging lots of holes in different places. That's what I kind of feel. And it's really destabilizing. That whole thing of like digging lots of holes, it destabilizes. But it's because something is unleashed in you and you want to like explore it. You want to know, like, you want to know more about this. You really do. I don't know if like maybe, and with the Queen of Wands energy, I do, you know, it might be that like, say for example, you start taking a new dance class and then you find that there's this new energy that's coming within you that makes you really confident and really beautiful, and then it's really just beautiful inside, right? And then it makes you feel so good that you now start to think about your life, how it would be if you could just embody that energy all the time. And you could be in that strong, passionate, sexual version of yourself. That really hot version of yourself. You know, that's what it feels like. But it's destabilizing. It's destabilizing. It's actually causing you to lose your balance. And what's interesting here is with this particular Temperance, the hand on the ground is reaching to the higher self. Here, it's something that is like, it may seem like the thing that's on the ground is made out of nothing. And now you're trying to hold on to something that isn't stable. And it's interesting with that Four of Pentacles reversed, because then that also means that that's a you know, there is something that is being released within. It says the prudent mountain goat here, by the way. I didn't say what that says. The prudent mountain goat in the Four of Pentacles. So, I mean, You know, there's just a destabilization here. Real destabilization. The Four of Pentacles reversed. I mean, I kind of see the Two of Pentacles reversed as kind of like Temperance reversed, but the Four of Pentacles as well is that kind of destabilization. But it's destabilized, like, whereas the Two is the more of the current, like you're balancing it, whereas the Four is the disruption of what has happened. So that's what I'm sensing here. And then you've got the Queen of Wands reversed with the Eight of Wands. I think that's just kind of like going forward, like just going and doing something anyway without fully thinking about it and knowing that it's going to work out for you, right? Not for anybody else, for you. So it's about, oh, I know it's going to work out for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Queen of Wands like that is quite a selfish energy. So, and it's manifesting for my own good, not for the good of who's around. And it's almost like that whole thing of like a lack of consideration for the external as well, or for what's around you. I'm not saying that you're like this, okay? I'm just saying that this is what is happening as a result, you know, of what is going on here. Nobody embodies these things on a permanent level. It's all about balance. I can tell you fully myself that I have gone through all of these stages of feeling like this or doing things like this. We all have. We've all played these parts at some point. And I think that that's really important when you look at shadow work. That's why it's so much shadow and light. It's about that sense of you really coming to terms with whether or not that you embody all of those aspects of yourself and own them, and then integrate them and understand where they come into play, at that time. Do you know what I mean? It's really important, really important. And I speak these things from a space of experience, not from like just somebody who's telling you what to do. And I'm not telling you what to do. Do not live your life by a tarot reading. Go buy other things. Go do your own research. Go and have a look. Go and think, is she chatting rubbish or is she chatting something that I actually is starting to trigger me in some way? That's what this is about. That's what this work is about. And I'm a Capricorn moon, so trust me, this is I love it. Anyway, right, so you've also got the Chariot as well. So with the Chariot, with the Knight of Pentacles, there is a sense of stability. I think you kind of get it. You get it. Immature male. Immature female. You're going from the Page of Pentacles to the immature. You're going from the immature female to the immature male. You're progressing. You're progressing. I don't know if it was with the reading. I don't know, but something's telling you that you know that you're in a place where you need to like kind of get some stabilization. I don't know. Maybe with this Queen of Wands, you went from Temperance to Queen of Wands. You're understanding yourself as the Queen of Wands reversed, and then you're going to Chariot reversed. You're like, oh my God, I can't actually go forward. I think I need to stay still and figure out what is going on here. And that's the page. That's the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving energy in the deck. Kudos. Kudos to that. Kudos to that, pile 3. Love it. Right, okay, so let's have a look at this. Oh, this is pretty. Abandon. Oh, love it. Can you see that? So these cards are like really cool. Some of them are like really clear, like crystal. Some of them just don't show up at all. Pile 1's just, I couldn't see it for love nor money, but this is like... This is what these cards are about. So, by the way, for those of you, I have everything down in the description box below for those of you who want to know what cards I read with. But this deck is called the Imperium. It's an amazing deck. One of the only lenticular decks I've found. So, and I'm a sucker for holographics and bougie kitsch stuff like this. But yeah, so you've got that there. So abandon, right? Careless abandon. I think there is some abandon going on here. I think there is a sense of abandon, but I think understanding what it is that you're abandoning. What is it that you're really throwing that sense of abandon to? Because there's important things that need to be taken care of, and I think when we understand those things and it's accountability, right? It's accountability of understanding that there are some things that we can abandon and there's some things that we can't. Like, I see an abandonment of responsibility here, to be fair, pile 3. I see it, and it's almost like something that you have worked with and that you've done, and you've almost like been really kind of good at stabilizing it, but then something's just caused you to go, you know what, F it, I just can't be bothered. I want to go and do something for myself now. And that's all well and good. You know, it's such an opposite message to pile 2. Love it. And it's all well and good, but like, I think it's really important for you to take note. We've got 10, 9, 50. Sorry, I'm adding it up in my head. So 76. 76 is 13, isn't it? 7 plus 6 is 13. So we've got 4, I think. I don't know. Yeah, if it's 13, yeah, then it's 4. So there's a maturity here that is experienced in the Knight of Pentacles that is understood by, you know, kind of the levels that you've traveled. I don't think I'm not telling you anything that you don't already know, which is something that I'm really kind of meticulous with. But I think it's important to remember that when you do readings like this, it can get mirrored back to you. So, you know, particularly if you're in this space where you're just dreaming away and you're just kind of like thinking or wishing for another existence or something like that. Angel of Snow. Interesting. Shelagiel. Shelagiel, Angel of Snow. I don't know what that means. I will have a look and get back to you. Okay, so like the important thing is to remember that the reason why you're doing this is because there is something that you're feeling quite burdened with. I think when you understand like there is what it is exactly that you're trying to like kind of invest in, this kind of a sense of escapism that's going on here. Escapism isn't necessarily bad. It's actually a really necessary part of us being able to cope with what was going on, you know, within our lives and our realities. But it's also like, it's also recognizing, you know, what it is about that sense of, you know, that sense of escapism. What is it giving us and why are we doing it? Interesting how I put it here. And it's also resonating with these kind of like color palettes a little bit. This is slightly different. But with this one, it is quite similar. And that means that there's this kind of like going into time. And the thing is with snow freezes, like snow is frozen. So it's almost like going, and when winter happens or when snow is present, things don't move fast, things move slow, things move. It's almost like this time warp of being like stuck in this space where nothing is growing. Whereas like summer is all about movement and spring is all about movement. So there is this sense of like kind of descending into this space where you're thinking about other things. And I think that's because of what's going on right now. And I think that's also because of like, there's some kind of, I don't know if people are not feeling grateful for you or you're not feeling grateful for things. I don't know. It's one of the things, but there is something here that's destabilizing you. And it is due to a lack of gratitude. But I think you know that. You know, you understand it. I trust that you do. Grounding. So like pile 2, you know, getting out into nature is really, really good. But also like grounding exercises, because I feel like there's a lot of the brain that kind of goes off to other places. You know, particularly if you work within the spiritual community, or you are a healer, or you do any kind of work like that, it is essential for you to be grounded. And being grounded within your mind is not just the be all and end all of it. It's not about you thinking, oh, I have to think about things that are to do with the 3D reality, and that will like kind of like think about my bills or something like that, as opposed to like daydreaming. It's not about that. It's about you getting into a physical sense of like outside, go swimming outside, get into your body, get into your physical reality, get into something that you can feel. something that's real, something within the 3D, something that you can actually tangibly interact with, that's going to help you kind of forget about this. Because when we go off, particularly when you work with those upper 3 chakras, which is why I was referring to people that work within the spiritual healing and all of those modalities, if you know, a lot of those people, and myself included, they work within, like, so it's usually like throat, third eye, and top chakra. Those 3 chakras, away with the fairies most of the time. So it's about like being kind of grounded and getting into the earth. If you do gardening, that's also really good. Gardening is fantastic for like grounding you. But if not, the barefoot stuff, and, you know, getting your feet on the ground, walking in nature, being in nature, connecting with trees specifically, because this whole kind of ecosystem with the trees here is like really important. Wow. And we've got man in fire, interested male, secret admirer, attraction, news and messages. I mean, some of you could be fantasizing about something coming in. It could be a fantasy about something like a new reality. It could be a fantasy about something kind of taking you away and just doing something completely different to what you were doing, which is why there's something taking you away from this gratitude. So the main aspect of this reading, pile 3, is there is something that's taking your mind away to other places, which is taking you away from the present, and it's destabilizing you. It's actually undoing the work that you've done previously in order to help yourself be more grounded. It's actually ungrounding you. So yeah, and the way that you can get more grounded is by going out in nature. I don't know, I mean, like, the fact that it looks like a devil, yeah, it's a bit like, I don't know, I feel like there's some obsession going on there. And then also just being grateful for what you got. Like, it could be, I don't know, do you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing somebody who is tired within their relationship, and they, all of a sudden, they meet someone who lights all their fires. And then you just think, wow. You know, and then you start to fantasize maybe about that person or whatever. And then that's what I'm getting. Like how much better life would be with that person. But then avoiding the gratitude, avoiding the place where you are currently, which is kind of like making you kind of miss out on the gratitude that you feel for your current circumstances. So for you to be able to manage this, and I'm meticulous. Like, I think this is really important. Do not just wish the feelings away. I think the most important thing is to recognize that you feel that way. This is very important for your spiritual, for who you are and how you work spiritually. I think this is very important. But how do you manage it, right? Again, as I said to pile 2, this is, or I don't know if I said this before, like, it's about you being able to like manage your, you know, integrate the shadow. We don't want to destroy it. We don't want to, your shadow is you. Your shadow is a great source of power. And it's very important for you to kind of make sure that you nurture it and you love it, but it is your shadow for a reason. There's a part of you, there's a reason why you don't like it. So it's about you being able to understand why you don't like it and then being able to get the most out of it, but not letting it rule you, right? Not letting it take over you, because then that would not be that great. But otherwise, I think you've got some, I think you're all very powerful. Pile 3 is always like a powerhouse anyway. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it helped in some way. If it did, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But my darlings, thank you so much for being here, for your attention, for taking the step to be able to do this work. I really appreciate it. Again, remember, this is only a reading. It is not, you know, It's just a reading. Just a reading. Let it confirm only what you know. But otherwise, my darlings, you take care. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'll speak to you soon, and remember that honesty is always key. Bye.